back to, this will probably be a very quick episode, but this is No Party Preference.
Or maybe it won't. Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. Who knows? No Party Preference. My name's Josh. Here today with good buddy Adam.
Yes, hello.
And today we're going to give an update from our previous episode titled Tik Tok Ban. So this is the Tik Tok Ban update.
Feels like a fucking hood week.
It really does. It really fucking does, man.
We've been bamboozled. We've been had.
We have. And so before we get into it, though, let's give out the medias here. And you can go on Game Rage Magazine. Still on TikTok. Still strong. I made a last post. I made like a final post of TikTok.
Did you post your bleached butthole?
Yeah, I did actually. And you know what's funny is, well, we'll talk about it here. But, we'll talk about it here. But anyways, Game Rage Magazine, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and YouTube, and you can go to All Gas No. Oh, what is it? Substack.com/at All Gas No Trash Official.
Before you finish that, I just have to say, man, that the article that I wrote about the 12 elements, the 10 rings,
the 12 rings,
the 5 rings of Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit is still doing fucking numbers, and that's like a week after the fact. So whoever's fucking reading or listening, or both.
Does it tell you where they're coming from?
No, it just says that
stupid.
It just says traffic source, like it just says Substack the app or email. But email means it's newsletter, so it's getting sent out to people via email, and they're reading it via newsletter.
How many do you get via newsletter versus?
Well, this one was fucked because the post was too long. So as a newsletter, I think it just they're like, no, you can't do that. So if you wanted to read it, you had to go to Substack. So that's why.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, I have to take a little credit for it. I think plugging it in front of every episode and also talking about how deliciously autistic it is, I think that also fucking helps. You know, I mean, I'm just saying. I just want to take. I like to thank myself and give myself full credit for your article, hard work. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So go to Substack and check out Adam's shit if you want to read some cool articles about it.
All right, so let's walk us through the... Because let me ask you this. Yeah. Yesterday was technically the last day of the final hours of TikTok.
Yep.
What was your documentation of yesterday's events? If you were even so inclined to go through...
Oh, I was just fucking about and just seeing what would happen, like on the thing. So 5:30 p.m. Pacific time was the cut. That was when it was dead.
Okay.
So sure as shit, the second 5:30 hits, you're scrolling, and all of a sudden it just says like, you just get this like error, and then okay, whatever, get out of it. And then I checked back a couple hours later, and then there's this message that pops up, and the message says, TikTok is no longer available in the United States, and it basically said we are working with President Trump to try to make a solution. Is what they had said in the initial thing, and they said they will let you know. We'll let you know if anything happens, basically. So we all thought, oh, okay, well, it's dead. So today, on Sunday during the day, I was like, I'm just gonna go on here and just I'm just gonna open it just to see what happens. And I opened it, and I was like, oh, fuck, it works. What's going on? And then, like, an hour later, I got this thing popped up, and it said, hey, we're back. And it said, TikTok is now back in the United States, and we would like to... Well, fuck, I'll just read the thing, because I fucking I forgot to take a screenshot, but I stole someone else's screenshot of it to fucking send you, because I just wanted you to see it. But it said... Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok, right? That's what the fucking thing said from TikTok. Which already I was like, wait a minute. Why are they ball washing Donald fucking Trump like with this? So then I remembered about how this motherfucker's going to be, this quote-unquote CEO is going to be at the inauguration tomorrow on the 20th. I also, putting into perspective with what I know about all the senators who were involved with starting this bill 9 months ago or whatever it was to ban TikTok. Basically, the initial senators that were involved with this, they all heavily invested in either Meta or no, I'm not. I mean, shitting you, like $1 million investments in either Meta or there's another company that I think it's called like something. It's like something group something, and they're like the number one sponsor of Senator Tom Cotton, and he's the guy that was the first reading introduction of this fucking bill, and they are like the largest single shareholder of Meta fucking shares. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so since is TikTok a publicly traded company?
I don't think so. Not right now. I don't think they're on the fucking I don't think they are because they're not. No, they're not. They're not, because that was one of the solutions that was presented as well. If you become a publicly traded company, you can give the Chinese, whatever the Chinese things are you're saying that they can't own it, you can give them non-voting shares so that their investment, their interest in the company is only a purely financial one. They have no voting shares. So they're like, they could easily do that. They could just do an IPO, open it up as a publicly traded company, and then this would have solved the problem for them. And so it was already kind of sketchy because like, why wouldn't you just do that then? So all these guys were invested in Meta, and they've done all this shit since then, right? Well, now there's all this fucking talk about Meta is now hosting or has TikTok on their servers. And so there's people posting some various like conflicting evidences of this, and some people posting things that are like, they say, oh, this is not true, and they're showing their evidence for it. So I'm not a programmer, and like I don't work in IT, so I have no fucking idea who's right and who's wrong. But I'll say this: the optics of this alone, they do point to this potentially being either, I would venture to say, either Apple, Google, Twitter, or Meta has purchased, or they've done some kind of multi-company deal with getting TikTok ownership or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of value for people to have TikTok operational, because it's like a juggernaut to sell fucking ads. Everybody's fucking on the app. Everybody uses it. Mostly everybody uses it. So it's like the number one thing to promote anything is theoretically TikTok, compared to the competitors like Facebook or fucking Instagram or any other social media platform.
And in my opinion, I feel like there was some kind of a backdoor deal that took place with this whole thing. And because of the fact that they're ball washing Trump so hard with all this, it's very strange. Trump's technically not even president yet. So technically he doesn't even have the power to even do any of this shit. Nor has he had the power to do any of the stuff that he's been doing thus far before he's taken office officially. Like having the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, fire the Foreign Services Intelligence Committee chairman in the fucking House of Representatives because he wasn't a loyalist to Trump. He fired him exactly for that reason. So this is no surprise that this would be happening, I guess. But the fact that there's ball washing so much, also it is suspicious that the guy who Zhao or whatever the fuck his name is, his TikTok profile, he removed CEO of TikTok from his profile. When it came back up, it's now gone. It doesn't say CEO of TikTok anymore on his profile. Also, when it came back up, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever the fucking other Meta thing that they own is, they now have TikTok profiles. And they didn't have them before. Also, one of the strange things is, and I don't know if this is a technical issue or if this was on purpose, but they've removed the ability to go live. Like, you can't go live anymore now. That the button is still there, but when you click it, it does not allow anyone to go live. And that was a huge thing for people doing lives, because people that would be like reporting live, news on the ground at like things, they would be hit the live button and you can go live. Because on TikTok, you only need fucking, I think, 25 followers to go live. So you can easily hit it. So anybody can get it. And like people just go live and then boom, you can report live news. I think that it's strange that the day before the fucking inauguration, this shit happens. And then also now, essentially what was the largest platform, one of the largest platforms on social media that people go live on and do these things, now it no longer has the ability to do that. That's a little strange. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what it means, but it just seems a little fishy to me. I don't know.
I think it creates also an impasse for now that people that were going all in on Red Note, Like, do you want to go back to TikTok because of all the points that people were already making? It's like, well, fucking TikTok is an app that was, what was it, spying? They were calling it the Chinese
spy app. Yeah, that's what it was called. It's called the Chinese spy app. When in reality, like we had said in the last episode, Facebook or Meta pushed for this because they couldn't sell the data to the Chinese anymore because the Chinese were just getting it themselves. So it's kind of one of those deals where it's like, okay, yeah, so what if the Chinese government know that I doom scroll and fucking they want to throw titties in my face, like, or whatever.
So
like,
what?
Who gives a shit? I'm not doing anything on there.
We're not stupid enough to. Well, most people aren't stupid enough to fall into propaganda.
No, I mean, and even if it was, okay, so what? Like, people are entitled to their stupid ass opinions. The news, it could be considered propaganda when they skew news stories. Local news skews news stories all the time to fit whatever narrative they want to push or portray.
Or larger corporations owning newspapers to guide a certain narrative about something.
Right. So now, and we're going to do a specific episode about this whole inauguration thing, and like what I think the fucking incoming administration is going to be like next. But to give a slight preview of that, just think about this. You now have, going to the inauguration, you have Elon Musk, you have Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. You have, I forget the guy's name, but he's the CEO of Google. You have this Zhao guy who was or is the CEO of TikTok. That's still up in the air. You got Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously, he's the head dude at Meta. And then you have Jeff Bezos. So you've essentially got every single major social media platform head in one room. And one thing that people also forget is that Google owns YouTube. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't remember, that's a thing. Like, Google owns YouTube. So you got the CEO of Google, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok possibly, and they're all attending the presidential inauguration. My theory that TikTok is now, instead of going to maybe they'll still funnel shit to the Chinese government, but everything is going to the United States government now. All the back end shit, all your messages, anything that you have is now getting funneled to the United States government. And my theory is that will be used against us and it'll also control the narrative. Because if you, just like with TikTok, just like with Twitter, Elon Musk has proven that he says all this shit about being a champion of free speech. And the second he has the ability to turn off your free speech, he will if he doesn't agree with you. All right. That's been proven. Facebook, 100%. Mark Zuckerberg turned off. He agreed and listened to what the government told him to censor stories about Russian propaganda or whatever bullshit. Right. He did what he was fucking told by the United States government. Instead of being a bastion and standing up for free speech, he did what he was fucking told to censor certain things by the government. And then you got TikTok now in this fucking whole thing. So and then YouTube's in on it apparently, obviously. So now all of our major outlets where people get independent news from are now compromised, in my opinion. And TikTok is just the latest one to fall. And it was done under the guise of national security. And now I feel like all this shit's going to end up being used against us. So I don't know. Fucking A. It is what it is. But basically, TikTok's back now. So I'm assuming it's going to be back for good.
It's probably going to be a neutered version of itself.
It seems like it already is, just because you can't go live. And it seems like, that's another thing that they added that I forgot about. Okay, so you know how like on Twitter or on Instagram sometimes where they put that little thing at the bottom that says...
like a correction or
it's like a community note or whatever you want to call it, right? And it says other things. TikTok never had that. Now, any post that you see someone saying something bad about Trump, I've only seen it on posts that are bad about Trump. There was somebody talking about the election, and there's a little note that pops up and said, Donald Trump legally won the election, and saying all these things. Here's the article to the Associated Press confirming that he won the election. And it's like, well, this person wasn't even saying he cheated or whatever. Also, we'll talk about it in the next episode about what he said today in his little rally about Elon Musk, which I thought was, wow, I can't believe this motherfucker said this shit. But because TikTok was down, maybe he thought he could be cheeky and get away with it. But yeah, so we'll leave that as a teaser for the next episode. So
all right, so to wrap this up, how does this tie into the title of N is for Norse Fire?
Well, that's the next episode. This was just a TikTok ban update.
Son of a bitch.
I told you
caught me with my pants down?
Yeah, I did.
I'm fucking idiot.
Yeah, you are. Anyways, well, it's cool because now they know what the next episode's called and they can fucking.
Well, that's right. No. I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I teased the next episode.
Exactly. Perfect. I would say with master execution. All right. Anyways, all right. Well, that's
failing upwards.
Yeah, that's how we do things here. Anyways, check us out while you still can. Game Rage Magazine, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Also, Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and YouTube. You can go to substack.com/@allgasnotrashofficial. And catch you guys on the next one.